Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl moveset guide. Today's video is going to be all about the Plant-Cloak version of Wormadam, so let's get started by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, abilities, and stats. So to start things off, the Plant-Cloak version of Wormadam is a bug-grass type Pokemon with access to two abilities, the first of which being Anticipation, which is an ability that warns you of super effective attacks your opponent might have, and its second ability being Overcoat, which is an ability that blocks any weather-related damage this Pokemon might take from sand or hail, as well as also powder moves such as Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, Poison Powder, etc. As for its stats though, defensively this Pokemon has a low base 60 HP stat, but pretty decent defenses with a base 85 physical defense and 105 special defense, meaning that it's not completely frail and can take a hit or two in battle. Alongside this though, offensively, it has a fairly low base 59 physical attack, and also a pretty decent but not amazing base 79 special attack, meaning that more often than not, you're going to be going with a special attacking set with this Pokemon. And unfortunately, its speed stat is only base 36, meaning it is going to be very slow on the battlefield unless you're able to boost it in one way or another. Now thankfully this Pokemon does have access to Quiver Dance, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, to boost its special attack speed and special defense to make it a little bit more of a threat offensively and even more bulky, especially defensive. But previously, when this Pokemon was originally in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it was an NU Pokemon, which the move Quiver Dance did not exist, alongside some of the other tools that this Pokemon has gotten as well over the years. So the only time will tell to see if this Pokemon will still be placed in NU, though it's very likely it still will be as well. But with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to be running Wormadam with a Choice Specs item to increase its special attack significantly while also locking it into a move in doing so. So to maximize the potential with a set like this, we're going to go ahead and run the Modest Nature to boost its special attack and lower its physical attack, and go with the Anticipation ability to prevent you from being surprised by any potential super effective attacks your opponent might have. As for the EVs, we're going to put 248 into its HP because this Pokemon is weak to Stealth Rock, so we want to give it as high of an odd HP number as we can. And then we're also going to go ahead and put 252 EVs into its special attack to max it out, with the remainder 8 into its speed stat. As previously mentioned, this is a Choice Spec set, so we're going to be running that as its item. For the moves though, the first one we're going to be going with is going to be Leaf Storm, which is going to make it so that this Pokemon has an insanely powerful grass type move, with only the negative drawback of having your special attack lowered by 2 stages when you hit an enemy with it. Alongside this though, we're going to go ahead and run another stab grass type move in the form of either Energy Ball, which is the stronger option here, or Giga Drain for allowing this Pokemon to not only deal damage but also recover quite a bit of health in the process. Then we're going to go ahead and run a stab bug type move in the form of Bug Buzz, which is a very powerful move that this Pokemon can use and deal some very massive bug damage with it. Finally, in this last move slot, we can go ahead and run either Psychic or Shadow Ball for additional coverage. Psychic being a great option because it allows this Pokemon to hit poison types super effectively that would be resisting both its bug and its grass type moves, but Shadow Ball is a great neutral option as well, as it allows this Pokemon to hit steel types for just neutral damage that it normally wouldn't be able to, as well as give it some decent coverage in the process. Now, all of these moves, when combined together, does give this Pokemon a pretty well-rounded kit in terms of dealing damage, and you could even opt to not go with Energy Ball or Giga Drain in favor of Shadow Ball or Psychic there to run both coverage options if you want to as well. But all in all, out of the gate with a Choice Specs item, Wormadam with this particular setup can be very threatening and surprising because most people don't really expect it to fire off a Choice Specs Leaf Storm most of the time, so it can definitely get the jump on an opponent that isn't really expecting it. Moving on to this next moveset, we're going to be going ahead and running a more offensively oriented Quiver Dance set for this Pokemon. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Timid Nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, going with the Anticipation ability again, and for the EVs, maxing out your speed and special attack this time with 252 EVs into both of those, and putting the remainder 4 into your defense. As for the item this time, there are quite a few options we can go with. We can either go with a Life Orb to boost the damage of all of your attacks at the cost of losing 10% of your health every time you damage an opponent. We can go with Leftovers for some passive recovery while we attempt to set up on this moveset, or we can go with an Aqua Berry or a Koba Berry to reduce the damage of a super effective fire hit in the case of Aqua Berry, or the super effective damage of a flying type attack in the form of a Koba Berry. Now for this moveset, the first one that we're going to go with is Quiver Dance, obviously, because this is a Quiver Dance set. So this will be boosting our special attack, our special defense, and our speed by 1 stage, which is essential for allowing this Pokemon to dish out even more damage. Alongside this, we're going to go ahead and run Bug Buzz as our main stab bug move, and also run Giga Drain here as our main stab grass type move. Yes, you could still run Energy Ball, but I think the recovery you get from Giga Drain is very, very useful in this particular moveset, though you can still go with that option as well, even though I didn't list it here. And finally, in the last move slot, just like on the previous set, we can either go with Psychic or Shadow Ball as an additional coverage option to help this Pokemon in its attempt to either set up and sweep or take out a few things in the process with its boosted special attack, speed, and special defense stats. Now, in addition to running an offensively based Quiver Dance set, we can also run a defensive one quite well with this Pokemon because it doesn't have that bad defenses. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a bold nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, and with an EV spread this time of 248 HP, 252 physical defense, and 4 speed to make it as physically bulky while it attempts to set up. And then for the item again, leftovers, the Aka Berry or the Koba Berry are the options to go with here to make your job setting up a little bit easier. But the advantages of this moveset, even though they use all the same attacks, is that this Pokemon is able to set up on more things than it normally would be able to, because we're investing quite a bit more in its defensive stats, thus allowing it to set up against physical attackers it normally wouldn't be able to. Now you do lose quite a bit in terms of the speed and special attack department, but this can still be a little bit of a decent option, as it still allows this Pokemon to be quite powerful if you run Quiver Dance, and also still maintain its usefulness as a defensive wall throughout the battle. Finally, for the last moveset of this video, we're going to go ahead and run Wormadam just as a bulky Pokemon for your team to make use of because of its unique typing that resists quite a few common attacks, as well as the fact that you can just run a few other little extra moves here that I haven't talked about previously on the movesets. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and start off by running a bold nature to increase your physical defense but lower your physical attack, or go with a calm nature to increase your special defense but lower your physical attack alongside the anticipation ability. Then for the EVs, we're going to put 248 into its HP, and then either max its physical defense or special defense alongside the appropriate nature to make this Pokemon very defensive for one of those particular sides of the attacking spectrum. And then we're going to go ahead and throw the last 8 EVs into its speed stat. As for the item, Leftovers is definitely the one to go with here, as it will give you the option of recovering a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. And this is very useful alongside the first move on the set, which is Protect, which will not only stall out a turn for extra Leftovers recovery, but also potentially allow you to scout your opponent's moves and protect you in the meantime. This is also especially useful when coupled with the first actual attack on the set, which is Infestation, which will trap your opponent with a kind of very weak Bug-type move, but also a Bug-type move that will deal some extra damage at the end of every turn. So you can use Protect alongside this to stall a little bit of extra damage on a more defensive moveset like this. Then alongside this, we're going to go ahead again and run Giga Drain for the Grass-type stab move that we get out of it. That will also be recovering some health, which is very useful for this particular set. And then for your last move slot, going ahead and running your secondary stab in the form of Bug Buzz, or go with a unique priority option in Sucker Punch to give this Pokemon the ability to KO something already at a low range of health with a decently powerful priority move. Now you could also consider running a relaxed or sassy nature because of this, but the power drop that you get from running bold or calm to your physical attack really isn't that significant, so it's in many cases not really worth the speed trade-off there, but it's entirely up to you which one you would rather go with. But this is just one way to potentially make use of this Pokemon's unique typing in a more defensive way and allow it to function as another wall for your team. But anyways, everybody, that is it for this video on Wormadam Plant-Cloak. So thank you all for watching. This Pokemon has always just been so adorable to me and really fun thing to use. So I hope you all enjoyed these movesets. But as always, everybody, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.